In the same weekend when the US and other countries have seen a death associated with the COVID-19 virus, Thailand too reports its first passing. A 35-year-old was already being treated for dengue fever, and whilst corona can't kill you, it can, and did in this case, reduce the immune system and the body's chance of fighting back against other symptoms. The total count of those found to have the virus here in Thailand remains at just 42, with only 11 of those remaining under medical care, and of all the cases, most were Chinese or those who had worked closely with Chinese tourists. Symptoms of COVID-19 include fever, cough and shortness of breath. Preliminary data suggests that older adults and persons with underlying health conditions or compromised immune systems might be at a greater risk of severe illness resulting from the virus. And there's evidence to suggest that regular exercise, plenty of sleep, and a good diet can in itself build up your immune system and reduce the chances of catching corona. Several private schools in Thailand have elected to close for a few days to see all of their premises sanitized, with many having foreign pupils or staff. In the capital, one school discovered that several members of staff and pupils had independently and not part of a school trip travelled to countries where COVID is prevalent, and in those schools all involved are volunteering to self-quarantine as a precaution. Here in Chonburi province, no cases of corona have been reported, and the chances of that happening at all have been seriously reduced, as Chinese, Japanese and Korean tours have mostly been cancelled by the operators themselves. Meanwhile at home and in Pattaya, Channel 7 is reporting that an Australian fitness instructor was arrested at the weekend charged with working in a fitness centre and possibly selling enhancement medication. The conviction of Australian Luke Cook, found guilty 2 years ago of using a luxury boat to ferry drugs in or out of Thailand, has been upheld in an appeals court. 3 people in all were nabbed after reports of half a ton of methamphetamine. The appeal heard that those involved claimed that they'd been framed by someone else who'd rented their boat, but that person, named in the case, was found not to have been in Thailand at the time. With some entertainment venues closing due to lack of tourists in buses, hotels in the city are launching offers to attract expats and Western tourists. By now, most businesses here have seen a roll-on effect from the virus rumours, combined with a lack of footfall, and many are either cutting back on staffing or in some cases delaying the opening of new hotel wings and leisure facilities. Talking to expats as we did over the weekend, we found that most are not overly worried about the virus and see it simply as a flu, which it is. Retailers dealing with expats are also reporting no real drop in trade either. A stampede of some 500 children would scare most, but not Marcus Redwood and his big guy team. They started Saturday's picnic on the beach for children who came from homes and rescue centres in the area with unlimited food and soft drinks. And after that, the Sprogs hit the waves. But when his wife used the tannoy to announce that the ice cream was now on offer, the stampede began, whilst they fled from the water across the beaches towards the food stalls. When they arrived there, in a wonderful manner, the children formed organised queues as volunteers made their cones. At the end of the day, what was left in the way of food and drink was also shared amongst the homes to take back for later use. And so from us to them, well done all. And with the Met Office promising highs today of around 31, dropping down to 25, an overcast day with the chance of shower. That is the local and national news from Fab FM. For videos and of course to keep up with fabulous Pattaya, visit alwayspattaya.com.